Did you know that about 75% of people experience some level of anxiety when it comes to public speaking? That's a staggering number. This fear often leads speakers to hide behind a mask, pretending to be someone they're not. But here's the shocking truth: pretending to be someone else can actually hurt your message. Research shows that audiences can sense when a speaker is being inauthentic. A study by Harvard found that 83% of people are more likely to engage with someone they perceive as genuine. So, if you're trying to be perfect, you might be missing the chance to connect. In this video, we will explore why being yourself on stage is crucial for great speaking. You'll discover how your flaws can become strengths and why telling your own stories is far more impactful than using someone else's. We'll dive into how to harness your unique energy, why audiences prefer authenticity over perfection, and the steps to find your true speaking voice. So, if you're ready to transform your speaking skills and truly connect with your audience, stick around. This journey to authenticity might just change the way you view public speaking forever. Chapter 1: The Mask Problem. Why pretending hurts your message. When you try to be someone else on stage, you lose your authenticity. Studies show that 83% of people trust those who seem genuine, while only 13% trust those who appear overly rehearsed or robotic. Trying to copy another speaker's style or persona may seem like a shortcut, but it's a trap. You end up sounding forced, and the audience can feel that disconnect. Think about it: when a speaker comes across as fake, it's hard to relate to them. This is because our brains are wired to pick up on subtle cues of insincerity. According to a study by Harvard Business Review, audiences subconsciously pick up on authenticity and are more likely to engage when a speaker is being real. So, rather than adopting a perfect persona, focus on embracing your natural self. A great example of this is Brené Brown. She speaks openly about her insecurities and flaws, and it's her honesty that resonates with millions. Being yourself doesn't mean being careless, it means showing up as you are. People aren't looking for a flawless performance, they want a connection. Remember, if you're trying too hard to be someone else, you're missing the opportunity to build that trust. Chapter 2: The Power of Flaws. Turning imperfections into strengths. Perfection is overrated, and science backs this up. A study by the University of Michigan found that people who admitted to making mistakes were viewed as more likable and trustworthy than those who didn't. In fact, the more human you are, the more likely people are to relate to you. The idea that flaws make us stronger comes from something called the pratfall effect. This theory shows that making minor mistakes can actually increase your audience's affection for you. When we hear someone stumble over a word or laugh at themselves after a small error, it makes them seem more approachable. It's a reminder that no one is perfect, and that's okay. Instead of worrying about being flawless, turn those little missteps into moments of connection. If you fumble a line, acknowledge it and move on. People will appreciate your honesty and sense of humor. Your imperfections are part of what make you unique. Think about Oprah Winfrey. She openly shares her struggles and moments of self-doubt, yet she's one of the most beloved public figures in the world. Why? Because her vulnerability is relatable. Chapter 3: Storytelling as you. Making your experiences shine. Storytelling is one of the most powerful tools a speaker has. But here's the catch: it only works when you tell your stories. According to research by Stanford, stories are remembered up to 22 times more than facts alone. But here's the twist: those stories stick best when they're genuine. We've all sat through presentations where the speaker uses a generic, rehearsed story. It falls flat because it lacks authenticity. Instead, focus on the personal. Your unique experiences will have a far greater impact than any borrowed anecdote. Think about Steve Jobs. He didn't just talk about technology, he shared personal insights, his vision, and his failures. His stories weren't polished, they were real, and that's what captivated people. To master this, think about the moments in your life that shaped you. What can you share that is uniquely yours? It doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. Even small, personal experiences can have huge resonance. People connect with stories because they reflect real emotions and challenges. When you speak from your own life, you create a bond with your audience that's hard to break. So, forget trying to deliver the perfect narrative. Your goal isn't to tell the best story in the world, it's to tell your story in a way only you can. Audiences crave connection, and personal storytelling is one of the best ways to deliver that. If you're finding this information helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more tips on becoming a great speaker. Chapter 4: Authentic Energy. Matching your vibe to your message. One of the most common mistakes speakers make is trying to mimic the energy of others instead of tapping into their own natural vibe. The truth is, your energy should match your personality and the message you're delivering. Research shows that when people use a communication style that's aligned with their true self, audiences are more engaged by 36% compared to when they force a different tone. Take, for example, Susan Cain, the author of Quiet, who embraces her introverted nature on stage. She doesn't force herself to be high energy or over-animated. Instead, she leans into her calm, reflective presence, and her audience loves her for it. Her TED Talk on introversion has over 30 million views, not because she's the loudest or most outgoing speaker, but because she's being true to herself. Your energy doesn't have to be high to be effective. If you're naturally laid back, embrace it. If you're more animated, go with that. The key is not forcing yourself into a mold that feels unnatural. Audiences can tell when you're being authentic, and that's what keeps them engaged. It's better to own who you are than try to be someone you're not. Your comfort will translate into audience comfort. Chapter 5. The audience wants you, not perfection. One of the biggest misconceptions in public speaking is the idea that audiences expect perfection. The truth is, they don't. In fact, a study by Princeton University revealed that people are drawn to speakers who make small, relatable mistakes because it makes them seem more human. When you obsess over being perfect, you actually set yourself up for failure. Nobody is perfect, and trying to be can create unnecessary pressure. Instead of focusing on delivering a flawless performance, focus on connection. Author Elizabeth Gilbert once said, "Perfectionism is just fear in fancy shoes. It's a defense mechanism that keeps us from being real." Think about it this way: people come to your talk to hear your ideas, your thoughts, and your perspective. They don't expect, or want, you to be a robot. A small slip-up or moment of vulnerability isn't a failure, it's an opportunity to show that you're human. You don't have to say everything perfectly, and you don't have to know all the answers. What matters is that you're genuine and present. A practical strategy is to plan for imperfection. Before you go on stage, remind yourself that it's okay if things don't go exactly as planned. When you release yourself from the expectation of perfection, you'll actually perform better. Why? Because you'll be more relaxed, and your audience will sense that confidence. Chapter 6. Finding your voice. The journey to speaking authentically. Finding your authentic speaking voice isn't something that happens overnight. It's a journey. Many of the greatest speakers didn't start out knowing exactly who they were on stage, they discovered it over time. The key is to keep refining your voice until it feels like you. One way to do this is through practice. Not rehearsing to sound perfect, but practicing to become more comfortable with your own voice and style. In the book Resonate by Nancy Duarte, she emphasizes the importance of knowing yourself as a speaker. She explains that when you speak authentically, you align with your core beliefs, making your message more compelling and relatable. Start by reflecting on what truly matters to you. What drives you? What experiences shaped your worldview? When you speak from that place, your voice will naturally become more authentic. Audiences can tell when a speaker is speaking from the heart, and that's what leaves a lasting impact. Another strategy is to seek feedback, but from the right people. Ask trusted friends or colleagues to give you honest feedback on how you come across on stage. Are you being yourself? Are you delivering your message in a way that feels true to who you are? Getting an outside perspective can help you fine-tune your style without losing authenticity. Finally, embrace the process. Finding your authentic voice isn't a one-time event, it's something you'll keep evolving as you grow. Just remember, your goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be real. That's what will resonate with your audience and make you a great speaker. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more insights and tips on how to become a more authentic speaker.